G'day, Geoff Lewis here from Seriously Series. Today what I thought we'd look at is how to wash your clothes. And I might need a wash too. I've been out in the bush for a while and I thought this might be an interesting video. I'm going to show you how to obviously wash your clothes, but using a very simple technique that doesn't cost much and you can use it in any vehicle. So if you want to find out this and more, then you know what to do. Stay tuned. Rightio, so what's the recipe we're using today? Well, it's incredibly simple, you'll be happy to know. We're going to go for a bit of power, a bit of coal power here today. Oh, yeah, cold power, I did get it right. And it's a fantastic soap granule that works really good in cold water for obviously cleaning your clothes. But here in outback WA in the middle of summer, as it is, there's no such thing as cold water. But anyway, we'll make do with warm. Obviously we've then got a 20 litre bucket here and we've got it with a lid that actually seals. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Very, very simple. A bucket you could probably pick up for about $10 or $15 Australian from a hardware store. Cold power, if you get it on special like I like to. Got to be a special buyer, don't you? You can get that for around about $5, so what we're looking at around $15 to $20 Australian. That's not bad. I had a look at some gadgets and gizmos, in regards to washing your clothes, and the sky's the limit. $250 at a store called BCF will buy you a twin tub washing machine. Fancy, I know, but anyway. It's a lot of fancy kit that you don't really need. Anyway, enough of me prattling on. Let's chuck the third ingredient in, which I bet you can't guess what that is. Water, that's right. And I'll show you a few tips and tricks how to get the most out of this system. Okay, so first things first, we need a couple extra ingredients. Water, as I mentioned earlier, and some dirty clothes. Dirty. So what we're going to do is, I like to put the clothes in first, like so, and I'll try and keep it PG, obviously, best I can. Yep. And what else we got? Another pair of pants. Okay, so we put that in, and then the next thing we do is we put some water in. Now I like to do this first because then I know exactly how much water I need to put in, because if you fill up the bucket and then you put the clothes in, what happens? The water ends up overflowing because of the displacement of the clothes. So I'll just fill this up without trying to spill too much. Okay. Oh, looks like we've got a few floaties in there too. Anyway, now if you're at home, you're obviously going to put a nice full cup into your washing machine. But because we've got a much smaller volume of water, I find sort of half a cup is enough. You can put more in, and I will put a little bit more in, why not? But if you put too much in, you actually end up wearing the soap. And it becomes a real problem. So there we are. Now what we do is we put the bucket back on the lid back on the bucket, just like I get my nuts and bolts mixed up. So that's all sealed. And the next thing is to put that in the parenti and go for a drive up some bush tracks and corrugations and leave it in there for a couple of hours. And what actually happens is the water sloshes around, obviously with the clothes too, not so much in a circular motion, but if you think of it in that sort of context, it sort of helps to agitate the clothes. And with that, obviously the constant movement throughout the water it helps the water to obviously flow through the fine web of the clothes, or the stitching of the clothes, the weave, and obviously then it liberates all the grime, dust, grease, oil and all the rest, and you come out with nice clean clothes. Now, one thing I will suggest, if your clothes are very, very dirty, is you'll need twice as much water, because when you pull your clothes out, obviously the water will become saturated in whatever your clothes have become dirty from, which is usually dust. So you'll need to put them into a second bucket, or a second cycle you could say, to actually rinse all that grime off. And that's one thing that's caught me out before. But anyway, I'll show you a few shots of the Parenti charging through the bush, and obviously a final shot of this being hung up on the makeshift washing line back at camp. Anyway, keep rolling.